Imagine landing your ultimate, lifelong dream as a highly competitive first-round draft pick for a prominent New York professional hockey franchise, only to realize that the suffocating, old-school institutional pressures of the league require you to hide your true self behind a heavily armored psychological mask, and your perfectly structured, fiercely guarded athletic isolation is suddenly blasted to ash by a scandalous, late-night encounter with a magnetic, drop-dead gorgeous rival superstar who also happens to be the exact cocky, trash-talking player your team hates most. This is the breathlessly high-octane, emotionally raw, and utterly addictive reality that sweeps over Scott Hunter in Rachel Reid's global contemporary romance masterpiece, Game Changer. Serving as the explosive, foundational first installment of the blockbusting Game Changer series, this spectacular sports romance stands as an absolute triumph of the secret relationship, forced proximity, and enemies to lovers genres, making it a mandatory addition to your audiobook playlist, where every competitive on-ice clash and breathless hidden hotel consultation rings out with cinematic perfection. The narrative masterfully tracks the overlapping orbits and high-intensity professional friction between Scott Hunter, the fiercely dedicated golden retriever rookie icon, and Ilya Rozanov, the notoriously arrogant, delightfully unhinged Russian superstar who captains a rival team. To the public and the ruthless sports media, they are bitter, structural enemies engaged in an elite war of words across the league. But behind closed doors, away from the corporate-style front offices and hyper-masculine locker rooms, their explosive physical chemistry transforms into a high-stakes secret sanctuary of mutual pining, domestic tenderness, and intense protective devotion. As their careers skyrocket, the psychological stress of maintaining their hitting arrangement under the flashing cameras of the sports world pushes both men to their absolute breaking points, forcing them to play a high-intensity tactical chess match against institutional homophobia to protect their soul-deep connection. Reid masterfully structures a fast-paced, deeply compassionate narrative, layering a delightfully filthy mouth and scorching high-heat intimacy over a poignant, exceptionally realistic exploration of mental health growth, deep-seated performance anxiety, and the terrifying vulnerability of risking your entire career for unconditional love. The audiobook format, brought to breathtaking life through a god-tier narration performance, transforms this sweeping Chicago and New York romance into an extraordinarily intimate experience, beautifully capturing Ilya's low, possessive growls, Scott's sharp, defiant intellect, and the raw conversational chemistry of two elite athletes learning to completely surrender their defenses. It is a triumphant, pulse-pounding masterpiece that completely redefines modern sports fiction, proving that when a fated bond is forged in the heat of competition, the absolute safest move isn't trying to outrun the headlines, but having the enduring courage to change the entire game together.